Hey, welcome back. Let's see where we stopped. Out of order, go around.
Okay. You can do this.
We got this. Last time the volume was a bit too high, but I hope it's fixed now.
Good. He's here.
Ellie's working. Alright. Let's go around. It's so beautiful here. So much sunshine. At the lake. I know, Alyson. We got this. We got this. It's important. We need to know.
Oh, Allie,
Is he drunk again?
Hello.
Hi, Sam. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What's this?
Can't put any of the chain or the valve covers back on.
Oh, it's for a boat.
Did you need something?
I wanted to talk, actually.
I was hoping to. I actually wanted to check out your boat, is all.
Yeah.
Not actually true.
All right, here she is.
So, I was over at the station and I was thinking about some things.
Yeah?
You've known us for a while.
Your whole lives. You puked all over my sleek denim button-up.
That's a nice memory.
Mm-hmm. What am I doing? Okay.
Where's your brother?
Back at the house. Don't want to talk
Back at the
about the
house,
fights.
I guess.
So, what's he getting up to today?
Who knows?
All right.
Oh, that's a really nice sextant.
Well, it sure is. It's a present from my old crew for my 30th birthday.
Nah.
Hey, an encyclopedia of astronomy. I have this one.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Impressive collection.
You
Well,
want
that was a
some?
bit too
Take
fast.
them. I don't really navigate anymore.
Engineering, navigation, and
oh,
ocean types.
Thanks.
How's the house coming along?
Slow.
Slow. There's a lot
Check
to do.
this book.
Of course.
Political,
there's a whole
something
life,
of the marine world.
lives in there. No shame.
Ecology, maybe. Oh,
Oh, I know this one. The introduction will be forever burned in my brain.
burned in my brain.
Your mother gave that to me. Really got me thinking about things.
Oh, pizza. Seems old. Caution, mind your hat.
Goddamn Billy buying some corroded, rusty-ass junker.
Nice view. Do not enter. Guess we can't do. Alright, let's go down again. I think we got everything.
These freaking nuts are stuck.
What are you doing?
My cousin Billy bought an old motorboat, but that fool drowned the engine, taking her out. Yeah, I told him I'd fix it.
Do I need to help him or something?
Having some trouble?
Can't get these nuts loose because my idiot cousin let them rust.
Got a can of rust remover somewhere. If you come across it, pass it over, yeah?
Oh, sure.
What?
Still can't get him off?
Nope. No, is it driving me up the goddamn
I need to
wall?
help him. Oh no. I didn't pay
Find
attention.
that goddamn rust spray.
Is that a rust spray? Yoink. Maybe it's something here? I think there were a few stuff. Alright, but I can't pick it up.
Would this help?
Oh, thanks, princess, but that ain't it. It's in a red can.
Not a princess.
So maybe it's something else then. Maybe some beer. Oh, what's this? Oil? I think it was saying something with oil. It's fine. I left you in my boat a month ago, and far as I can tell, the only work you done is test how much beer you can fit on it. Paid you in advance as a favor because I know you need it, but goddammit, I need my boat.
Hey, Allie.
Family's family,
check
but
if I
get
have
it done
rust
by
spray
this
somewhere in this
weekend
mess?
or I'm reporting it stolen, and I know, tired of brown on your ass. Answer your goddamn phone. Okay. That's not a nice letter. Curtis Davis Bank. Current balance is minus 400. Even 450 or something. Current appearance as mandatory. Failure to appear will result in the insurance
Rust
of the
remover's in
warrant.
some sort of spray bottle. Should say sticky mechanisms on it.
Yeah, I got it. I was just way too curious. Maybe it's this one.
How about this?
Huh? No, it should be on one of those shelves back there. Don't stress yourself out. I can work them for you eventually.
But I was there before. I think I'm just too slow.
Damn it.
What happened?
Busted my finger with that stupid wrench. Grab me a gauze. Should be in that cupboard over there.
Well, here we are. I think I'm way too slow. That's it. And now he's kind of bleeding. It's gonna bleed. It's gonna die. Hopefully not. I think I know why we're here. And I get a feeling that this person is gonna be very, very important for us.
Sam? Are you our father?
Figured you'd ask me that question someday.
Well?
I wish I was.
What the
You
hell kind of
aren't?
answer is that?
I'm sorry, Allie. But the man you're looking for, he ain't me.
Oh, okay. Guess I'll just take your word for it then.
Hey, you got no right coming in here getting angry at me for something I got nothing to do with.
But you were so close. Yeah, that's what I also thought.
You two were so close. I know you meant something to her.
You honestly think I would have let you two grow up without a father? I may be a deadbeat, but I'm no coward.
But you must know something.
I truly don't. Your mama, she never... Look, we were just friends. I mean, take a look at old Sam. No woman like Mary Ann would ever think twice about a guy like me.
I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired of trying to unravel all of Mary Ann's fucking secrets. I don't understand her. I want to hate her so much. But I don't even know who she was.
You're trying to figure out.
Come with me. I want to show you something.
Oh, now I'm curious. But I'm pretty sure he's not their father anymore. He looked very sad.
Come in. Come in.
Oh, so
When was the
curious.
last time you cracked a window? Looking sharp, first mate Kansky.
What's that now?
These pictures.
Oh, well, yeah, that was long time ago.
That's him. Okay. So
Where all did you
different.
travel to?
Mostly worked the Southeast Asia route. Vietnam, Cambodia, around those parts.
Wow. What do you do on board?
Oh, I worked the deck. Started out doing maintenance. Collecting the garbage, cleaning the hull. Ranked up to navigation after a while.
Right. Hence the sextant.
What do we have here? So many pictures. Glacier Bay Nation Park welcomes you. Some fresh air?
Much better.
You want to take a seat?
I'm just looking around.
If it gets the house sold, it gets the house sold.
Well, he's interested. 200k. Hero boat captain saves crew member. Samuel Kansky, the 29 years old captain of the Eniak Rose, didn't think twice before jumping into the ice-cold, choppy waters of Mitchell Point to save members of this crew after their vessel capsized off the coast of Juneau, Alaska. Oof.
Love this picture of your mama.
I think Sam loved her so much. I'll be there in a second. Date October 28th. Paid to order of Samuel Kansky. $150. Okay.
Why is there a burnt up pan in your garbage?
Oh, yeah, that. Might have fallen asleep cooking dinner.
Glad you're still with us.
Salmon casserole. Ooh. Meal plan. Egg and cheese, tuna sandwich, spaghetti and meatball. Catch of the day. It's actually quite often catch of the day. That's so nice. Leftovers left. Sunday is pretty much only leftovers and then dinner Tessa's.
Hey, come have a look.
I'll be there in a second. He's not living here, right? Where can I sit? Oh, on the table.
What's all this?
Whatever
Here,
this is.
I kept a few things.
Oh, poop. Sitting on my head now.
Your mother made that. Oh, she was a real artist, that one. Kind of like you.
No. So talented. Oh, that's a box with
I remember
memories.
this. We got this on our trip to Juneau.
Uh-huh. She saved up for a whole year to make that happen.
Dear Sam, I'm writing from the little hotel you recommended in downtown Juneau, and you were right. The kids love the whale mural. Our other favorite was the Raven mural at City Hall. Today we took the tramway to the top of the Mount Roberts. Kids wanted to hike the trail, but we only made it to the totems. Tomorrow we're going to hike the Nugget Falls to see if the glacier still looks like what's on the other side. Hope, hope. Hope you're hauling them in by the barrel load, Marianne. Well, he's keeping everything.
Swords and schemes.
Oh, and I took her to see that for her birthday. She hated every second of it. Whole drive back, she talked about how it butchered the books.
It was a book?
Oh, it was a book?
I guess so. Must have been one of her favorites. Oh, she was so mad.
A happy birthday card? Dear Sam, most Spears only lived to 20 or 25, so congratulations on making it to 2019. I certainly wouldn't have survived long out here without you, so thanks again for everything you do. Laura's a very lucky woman. I know you think the best part of your past has been erased, but as long as you don't forget the Eniac Rose will always be seaworthy. It just might look a bit small in memory. I hope you get some time on the water with Regine this weekend and catch everything you deserve, including some new memories. Happy birthday, my cherished friend, Marianne. It must be weird for him. Must be really weird for him sitting there with me, but he doesn't know it was me, actually.
Look at these ones.
She looks happy.
She was.
When was this? Why are you wearing a square hat?
Oh, yeah, that was when I finally got my captain's license. Mary Ann's the one who pushed me to get it. Made me wear that stupid hat when I went to take the oath. Yeah, Laura took this one. We'd been working on that barn for months. That roof was a son of a bitch to sheath. Rain just kept on leaking into the loft.
Wait, the barn has a loft?
Oh, yeah. You didn't know?
Oh, she didn't tell us. Is that a trap door?
Yeah. She had me close the whole thing up. Told her it was going to be real hard to get any hay up there, but
I want to go back there.
she said she didn't mind.
Do you know what's up there?
I could tell she didn't want to talk about it, so I respected that.
Well, we're gonna have to empty it out for the sale, so I guess we'll know soon enough.
Ellie, you really gonna go through with this? It's like I told you, that house meant everything to your mama. It's all we got left.
He's drinking way too much, in my opinion.
You can't just throw it away.
Let Marianne go, or I'm sorry. I think he's just living in the past. I'm sorry. Even though I wanted to say the other thing, but that would be, I don't know. It's not looking stable.
I'm sorry. I know how hard this has been on you. But you need to move on.
I'm glad she's saying this, actually.
What's done is done.
Maybe it would help to talk to someone about it?
I ever tell you about the time I broke my leg? Shin bone snapped in 3 different places. It stuck on my ass for a month. No use to anybody. I was so down I couldn't even bring myself to get out of bed. But your mama, she has having none of that. She got me up one morning and drove me to a nice spot by the harbor. I watched the boats come in and out all morning. You can't let yourself be defined by the parts that are broken. That's what you told me. You gotta find a way to work with what you got.
Very true.
I think Think about that. A lot. Gotta remember.
Oh, poor Sam. Seems so exhausted. It's hard to see. He's just breaking. He's just breaking because of it. It's gonna be very interesting. To see a part of the house which we didn't see before. It's gonna be very, very interesting.
Now, if you ever come back here, I'm going to kill you!
Well, he's also not doing well.
Hey, Tyler? I've been looking all over the place for you. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Whoa, whoa. Hey, let's get you off your feet, okay? Come on. Listen, if you want to be alone, I'll go. But if there's anything you need to get off your chest, I won't snitch.
You saw Alyson? How is she?
Yeah. I went back to check on her this morning. She was in a pretty bad way. Whatever went on between you two, it wrecked her.
Look, I don't want to drag you into this.
Well, I'm already in it.
I was
and
about
you
to
look
say.
like hell, so...
I just got a lot on my mind.
Well, I know one thing that's good for that. As a wise man once said, fishing is the cure to the wounds of the heart.
Was that you? I don't know.
I don't know.
Come on, we're burning daylight. Let's go.
Where are we gonna go?
Why go anywhere when we have a perfectly frozen lake right here?
Ice fishing in November?
Yeah. It got cold way fast this year. Climate change. That shit's gonna kill us. But hey, fish first.
Oh,
You can walk behind me if you're afraid, though.
You're actually serious?
I am a very serious man, Tyler. Let's go. We still have to get everything out of the car.
So we're actually fishing.
Stage is set. It's showtime. Whenever you're ready.
You sure you don't want to go?
Nah. Look, no way I'm gonna rob you of your first catch in your own backyard.
All right.
Got everything you need, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good.
Man, I'm so gonna miss this.
Miss what?
Just hanging out and fishing and... You know, I'm not gonna have a lot of time after you move to Juneau with school and the JC and everything.
Right.
So did any of the people you came up with at Fireweed
I guess
land
we're
in
just
Juneau?
gonna listen now.
Oh, I'm not sure. Once they left, I never really kept in touch.
Really?
People came and went a lot. And besides, everyone moves on eventually, right?
Not everyone. Not people who get so close they're like family.
I already have a family.
Well, there's a reason we think of families as trees. They keep on sprouting new branches and...
Oh, hey, I think I've got a bite.
You got this. Reel them in.
Okay, let's do some fishing.
Come on, pull up on the rod.
That's funny.
Reel them in.
Complete the circuit to catch the fish. I was just confused
give it a
about
nice
the
pull.
aviator right now. Thought it's in real life.
I got it.
Yay!
Slippery little.
That was so
Got
fast.
Bravo.
Nom nom.
First of many.
Pace yourself. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Thanks, Sensei.
Oh, hey, did you want to make solid plans to hit the buzzard hole? The river might ice over soon, so we shouldn't wait too long.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. I was planning to go Saturday. I'll pick you up on the way out.
Cool. I'll set my alarm to ass crack of dawn.
Oh my god, I just don't want to have things getting
I should
complicated.
have said this earlier, but thanks for doing all this.
You're making it sound like it's a big deal again. This is what friends do. Besides, I wanted to see if all this talk of yours was just that.
Your verdict?
You're doing pretty well, but don't let it go to your head. Still plenty of time for ego to get the best of you.
Yes, sir. Hey, so the other day you were talking about your chosen family. How did you find them?
Well, high school can be kind of rough when you gotta hide who you are every second of the day. I got to a pretty dark place.
I can relate to that.
One morning, my uncle woke me up and told me to get into his car. I figured we're going fishing or something, but then we ended up outside the Juneau Coalition for Equality.
Your uncle brought you to the JCE.
Yep. He didn't know how to help, so he found someone who did.
That sounds amazing.
You know, even if you don't move to Juneau, my offer still stands. The JCE holds a monthly meeting. You meet a lot of good people there.
I think I like that, or not sure I'd fit in. I mean, we can try it out.
I'm not sure where I'm going, but yeah, if I'm around for the next one, I'll give you a call.
No pressure. Just letting you know the door is open.
That's good to know. That's always good
All
to
right,
know.
here we go.
Another fish? To be honest, it's not that challenging. And then again.
Okay. How about them apples?
Nice job. So, you weren't all talk.
Impressed?
I only see 2 fish in my cooler.
For now. So, what are you gonna make with what we catch?
Hey, you got me figured out. Slice of fresh fish, topped with garlic, pesto, walnuts.
Oh my
just
god,
a
that
drop
sounds
of olive oil.
delicious.
Pure perfection. As my partner in crime, you're entitled to a cut.
Works for me.
Works for me, partner. So, about last night. I don't know what Alyson said, but from my side, well, I thought we were on the same page. But it turns out we weren't.
Hey, so don't tell her I told you, but last week your sister was almost unbearable.
Hey!
She was jumping up and down with excitement at you coming back.
Really?
You better believe it. Look, the last time you saw each other, you were kids. Just because things have changed doesn't mean you can't work it out.
True. We can't decide between I pushed her too hard or we're too different. I don't want to say we're too different because you only see each other for 1 week now after years, so I pushed her too hard.
I know. It's probably my fault. I really pushed her last night. I just don't get why she always has to run away from everything.
You blame her?
Avoiding the problem doesn't make it go away. She's so fixated on selling the house. It's like she's trying to bury the past. All of it. Even the good parts.
Look, I'm not picking sides here. Okay, but she's been murder house girl ever since it happened. Now she's got a chance to put it behind her and start fresh. Shit, I'd be pretty eager too.
I didn't really think about that. I was the kid who killed his mom. I mean, both is... Of course you're gonna think about that, but... They had this lie to keep away everything from her, but still she was the girl.
Yeah, well, I was the kid who killed his mom, and I still found a way to confront my shit. I mean, I'm here, doing the work. Even though, every second, I've gotta fight the urge to run straight back.
To fireweed, you mean?
Yeah. When I first got there, all I could think about was getting out. It felt like a cage. But after a while, it started to feel more like a shell. I figured out who I was in there. But now, I've gotta work out how to be that person out here.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, none of us really know what we're doing. Like, shit may look bleak now, but your sister's never gonna give up on you. And you can lean on me too if you want. Just be careful, okay? Got a bad left shoulder.
I'll keep it in mind. Thanks for listening.
Don't mention it.
I didn't expect this answer.
Don't you say anything. I got that.
Alright, next fish. But it's nice to talk to him. He's a really good friend.
Easy. Oh.
Easy.
Whoa. Bam. 3 out of 3.
Well played. I got nothing. That was clean.
Huh. I'm a little
So talented.
Hey, can I ask you something that's pretty personal?
Sure.
What?
Take off the gloves.
You've been with people, right? Romantically?
Yeah. A few. Have you?
No. Not really.
That's kind of surprising.
I'm good on my own. I never really thought about it. I never met the right person, I guess. It's just the last one.
I guess the right person just never came along?
But you're open to the idea?
Yeah, I could be. Let's say I'm reevaluating.
You want my take on it?
Sure.
Heartbreak sucks. Look, I stopped listening to the entire indie folk genre just because I was dumped at a show once. But I put myself back out there just like everyone who's ever gotten their heart stomped on. Because when you meet someone who really sees you, you don't have to pretend anymore.
Hard to argue with that. You still want to risk it with me? Oof. Just not for me. With me? I mean, both are cute. But Michael is still Alyson's friend. And it's just 1 week, dude. It's too fast. And we're having a fight. Let's say hard to argue with that.
Hard to argue with that. And you're still interested in being that someone? Even after all the shit that's happened?
Hey, I've got baggage too. I think it's worth a chance. Don't you?
What am I doing here? I don't want to hurt feelings. Oh no. I'm sorry, but we're total agreement. Oh my god, I don't want to hurt feelings. They're just moving on their chairs. They're just waiting for me. Okay. I'm sorry, bud. I don't know what. I wonder what you guys would just take here. I'm sorry, bud.
I'm sorry, but I just...
You don't have to finish that. I wasn't expecting anything. You miss all the shots you don't take, right? Still fishing buddies?
I don't know. You gonna catch anything?
I would like to
just you wait
explain
and see.
my thoughts, but I can't. I'm glad. I'm glad. So I'm just having this conversation in my head. No, I think we should wait. I need some time.
Hey, you're missing the show.
Ah, damn, I can feel it.
Whoa, careful now. You look like you might be enjoying yourself.
It's an act. But seriously, thanks, man. This is exactly what I needed.
Almost. It's just missing one tiny thing.
Beer. Something to drink.
Manship, you read my
Oh,
mind.
that's so
You
much
know Alyson
better.
refuses to eat anything cold in the winter.
It's their loss. From now on, you've got someone to call if you want to fish or slam a pint of Ben & Jerry's in the snow.
Oh my god, please.
A pint? Small fry.
Michael is such a nice friend. But I have to fix this first. It's important.
We should try to do this again while I'm still in town.
For sure. You have my number now. Hey, Allie. I think I'll just show myself out.
Okay. Sorry.
Don't be. I'll see you two later.
Sounds good. And now it's time to fix.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's totally fine. We were done anyway.
Catch anything?
Mostly ice, but yeah.
Tyler, I'm sorry for freaking out yesterday. All of this, it's just been really hard on me.
Don't apologize. I was being an asshole. We should have never pushed you that hard.
Come here.
No. I'm glad.
God, why did I miss you so much? It's only been a day.
I've been told I have that effect on people.
You dum-dum.
Wow.
Okay, so I need to show you something.
What? You're kind of weirding me out.
Can we sit down for a sec?
So, what is it?
I was just at Sam's. He's not our father.
How do you know?
I asked
Very
him.
interesting how they're
point blank.
sitting. So they can't just look at each other. And you believe him? Allison's not his style.
And you took his word for it?
He was crazy in love with Marianne. Whoever set that fire was doing damage control. And Sam's nothing but damage.
I guess he really doesn't have anything left to lose, does he?
There's something else. Look at this. This was taken in 1992 when Marianne first moved to Delos Crossing. See that ladder? Sam told me the barn has a loft. He helped her build it. Apparently she never told anyone about it.
And it's still there?
As far as he knows, yeah. What do
Must
you
be.
think? Should we give it a shot?
We've
Definitely.
come this far.
Oh my
And
god,
a
I'm
hidden
so
loft?
curious.
That's got secret shit written all over it.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
go.
Oh no, I'm playing him. Where could this be actually? I have no idea.
Ugh, what a mess. That's not gonna help us get this house sold.
Yeah, we got our deadbeat dad to thank for that.
So obviously the ladder's gone, but what about that handle? Is it still here somewhere?
What do you think is up there?
I don't know. I'm trying not to speculate. My brain was going to some real dark places.
If we just get storage, we don't have to do this. I'll protect you. I'll protect you.
Don't worry. Whatever's up there, I'll protect you.
We'll see how chivalrous you feel when you've got bats in that perfectly coiffed hair.
What do we have here? There's the letter. I mean, we could just take this. It just makes sense, right? But I can't. And I have no other options.
Need to see the picture again?
How is this supposed to help me?
What do you think is up there?
I don't know. I'm trying not to speculate.
The handle should be behind this.
Oh, I
there it
see.
is.
That's what we saw in the picture. Let's use it.
It's opening up.
Secret Keeper always did store all
Damn,
the best
I'm
secrets
super
in the clouds.
excited.
Yep. Come on.
Well, that's way too high to jump. You want to give me a leg up?
I'm so not touching your nasty shoes. We'll find a ladder.
Yeah, and I saw it already here. What the hell? Oh my god, it's so beautiful here. And dark.
Can you see anything?
Nope. Nada. Here, found a switch.
Once upon a time. What is this?
Holy shit.
That was a bad reaction of him.
Well, that shaved a few years off my life.
It's basically how every chapter
Whoa.
started. Dun-dun-dun.
It's
Beautiful, actually.
Her story.
look. She left us something.
It's got a combination lock with letters.
Do you think she hid the code somewhere in all this?
I'm pretty sure.
Knowing Mary Ann, probably.
Well, you want to do this?
Yeah. Let's start here.
Holy moly, what is this? I am overwhelmed with too many information. Once upon a time, there was a young princess who felt hopeless.
Recognize this?
Yeah. It's from the story where the goblins tricked the Mad Hunter.
It looks like it, but it's different, right? Can you check the book?
The book. Oof, okay, where's the index again? The goblins took the Mad Hunter.
Well, here it is. Why do you think she changed the picture?
I don't know. Maybe it's a message. Like, the differences between the two mean something.
Something about Marianne, right? Since she's the princess?
Yeah. Why don't we try to find them all and then see if it makes any sense?
Oh god, okay. The goblins took the Mad Hunters. So it's about the difference. First, I'm gonna read the story. Once upon a time, in a castle just beyond the ancient and deep forest, the Mad Hunter was punished by the Gold Lady for failing to return with the wise princess. For your failure, said the Gold Lady, I will take your left hand. You will return to the ancient and deep forest and hunt the wise princess. And if you can't bring her, I will return your hand to you. Fail again, and I will take your right hand. Holy moly. The Mad Hunter could hunt with just his right hand, but if he lost both his hands, he would never be able to hunt again, would no longer be a Mad Hunter, but only a madman. So the Mad Hunter returned to the ancient and deep forest, searching with a piercing eye for the wise princess. The crafty goblins were out searching for mischief when they saw the Mad Hunter on the prowl. We cannot let him find the princess, said the goblins, and so they devised a plan. It was a wash day, and the princess had hung her beautiful gown out to dry. They stole it from the line and stuffed it full of straw, and then returned to where the Mad Hunter was scouring the path of the forest. As the Mad Hunter turned down a path that would have led him to the big wooden house, the goblins danced the straw princess in and out of view in the opposite direction. The ruse worked. The hunter fixed his piercing eye on them and followed. Through the day and into the night they led him away from the true princess. As night fell, the crafty goblins realized the error in their plan. The Mad Hunter was now hunting them. If he caught them, he would not be kind, so they put their heads together to come up with a plan. It did not take them too long to realize where they should go. They led the Mad Hunter to the edge of the deep and icy lake, and when he came into view, they weighted the fake princess down with stones and dropped her into the frigid water, careful not to plunge into the depths themselves, lest the moon hag take their revenge on them. The Mad Hunter removed his clothing and dove in after the fake princess. He followed the shape of the sinking princess deep into the chilly water down below where ice covered the lake surface. Finally, he caught her, but when he spun her toward him, he realized she had no head and that her body was stuffed with straw. And then he felt a slippery, thin brush his shoulder on the moon, as the moon hag loomed overhead. The next morning, the princess went to retrieve her gown from the clothing line and found that it was gone. She immediately suspected the goblins of mischief and called, "Goblins, did you take my gown?" The goblins emerged from their cave and nodded sadly. "Now what I will wear?" asked the princess, sad and angry that she had lost her only dress. "Let us explain," said the goblins. So they told the princess the story of the Mad Hunter. They produced his clothing, which was a bit large for the princess, but much warmer than her beautiful gown. She immediately forgave them. "Thank you, my friends," she said, "for rescuing me and for his clothing, which will keep me much warmer in the winter than my beautiful gown." The Mad Hunter was forced to remain below the lake with the moon hag, but she did not kill him because, even reduced to just one hand, she was too useful a servant. Hello? He plotted the day? Is this Elo? He would emerge to once again hunt the wise princess and earn back his left hand. And this is the story of how the crafty goblins rescued the wise princess from the Mad Hunter.
Okay, spot the differences. It moves. Oh, some of these parts are buttons. Maybe that branch looks a little bit different? I don't know.
Oh my god, what is this? Deselect,
Even if the branch is a little different, I don't really think that means anything. It's just a random star. No special meaning.
The goblins trick the Mad Hunters. I mean, the title is different.
It's not the same title, so I guess that counts as a difference.
Yeah. What else do we have? The castle, maybe? I don't know. We don't have a castle here, though.
Huh. No goblins.
There are no goblins, yeah.
In the original, the goblins managed to save the princess from the Mad Hunter.
So we saved Marianne from something, but not in this version?
What about the left hand? We were talking about the left hand all the time. The princess.
The princess is running away from the Mad Hunter.
Who was sent by the Gold Lady, according to the story.
Do you think the Gold Lady could have been Marianne's mom?
I'm pretty
I mean,
sure.
She always used to say she moved to the end of the world to get away from her family.
Huh. Yeah, you're right. She ran away. Just like the princess is here.
And I'm pretty sure it's the castle. And what now? Should something happen? No? Did we do a mistake?
Figured anything out yet?
No. I'm stumped.
I'm totally stumped.
Well, first off, the title's different, right?
Yep. We got this. The left arm. What's this? No, that's here. Princess, the tree, the castle.
Is there an extra star over here? Or am I just imagining that? It's just a random star. No special meaning.
Oh my god, what is this? What about the smile? No, it's the same. This is the only difference I can see. Did I pick the wrong hand, maybe?
I'm really grasping at straws here. The Mad Hunter still has two hands here.
So this was either before the Gold Lady cut off his other...
That's
I
it.
actually picked the
Whoa.
wrong hand. Okay.
What's in there?
What's this? Oh god.
Pictures, letters. Have you ever seen any? Oh, poor thing.
Why would she keep an old drawing of a pet in here?
By Birdie Polly. I'll miss you forever.
I can't believe she was a ballet dancer. Marianne.
And a good one, too.
God, that's so not her.
Oh my god, what are we finding out about Marianne?
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her that young.
I think that's her mom in the background.
The Gold Lady? Or what it was?
The Gold Lady. That was definitely her mom.
So, did Marianne grow up kinda rich?
Maybe. Would have been nice to have some of that. Did you know she studied engineering?
No. But it looks like she changed her major
Visual
to visual
arts.
arts.
I don't think she actually got it changed. The paper's not signed and it's all wrinkled. Like someone tried to throw it away.
University of California, Berkeley, okay. So she never did it.
An artsy environmentalist. Yep, that sounds like Marianne's exact kind of catnip.
And there's a guy with a heart, huh? And there's a letter. I can't do this anymore. You deserve better than cliche bullshit like, it's not you, it's me. But the truth is, it's all just been too much to do with, and I've realized I'm just not ready. Maybe if we could have dealt with all of this on our own, without your mom constantly putting pressure on us, things could have been different. But the damage is done, and it's probably too late for that now. I'm so sorry. You're an amazing person, and you made me a better man. I hate myself for doing this, but I feel like we'll both be better off apart. There I go with the cliches again. Please don't ever stop being who you are. Here, but I'm gone, friend. What is this horrible letter?
Could this guy have been any more cryptic?
Okay.
Tyler, see that little light? I think we need to solve this one next.
Oh, okay.
There's the gold lady again. She's all over the board. There was a figure of her in that stash by the Mad Hunter painting, right?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe all of this is related to what we found in there.
Her crew parents kept her locked away in their rusty palace. Musty palace? A musty palace, okay. Is there like another story? Seems like this is something related to her childhood or something. Maybe this is gonna help us. I mean, what can we see here? Get a horse or something? Let's examine. Horse, bird. This is a cat and a dog. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's the bird. It started with the bird.
Hey, I can move the piece next to the gold lady.
All these pictures. They look like images from Marianne's life before Delos, don't they?
Well, some of them do anyway.
Maybe that's it then. We need to figure out which ones are real?
This is the only common thing I can remember now, the ballad thing. I'm gonna choose this one.
The princess dancing, playing violin, spinning wool. I guess this is stuff she did for fun?
Notice how unhappy she looks in all these pictures? I don't think she was having any fun.
And then the studies, I guess. It must be the last one at least. This is medicine. And I can see
The wise
the
princess
cocktail
looks
here.
like she's trying to run away.
And she's being watched by the gold lady.
In night? A painter. She wanted to be a painter. Oh, please.
What's
this
the gold
right?
lady do? Is that it?
It's
Oh my
opening.
god. L? L? Maybe it's for the box. Oh, nice. Okay.
What's in there this time?
More stuff. This is where we are right now, right? Another
Is
picture.
that Carol?
Yeah, and Sam. Look at him. He's so young and happy.
Everyone's so young.
Wow. She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
Here's my Delos Crossing Paul's number. I let him know you were interested in the house he's selling Tammy.
Oh, so that's how she found the house.
Salmonberry Park, Kodiak Island. Oh, there's so
Salmonberry
many.
Park. Huh. Is that some kind of commune?
Looks like it. So
Don't be a
weird to
stranger.
imagine her living in a community like that. With, you know, other people.
The weirdest part is how they all seem to love her. Where was prom queen Marianne when the whole town was turning on us?
Don't be a stranger. Keep on looking for those answers to the question you had to, which you're blind. We miss you already. So we're losing you to modern civilization. We'll miss your positive attitude and your adventurous spirit. Also your wild edibles picking skills. Bon voyage, Marianne. You had the warmest, most beautiful aura, and I know you'll keep on shining wherever you land. Peace and blessings. Thanks for being a little ray of sunshine. No, that's very heartwarming. And another dad. Okay.
Her father.
Marianne, I hope this letter finds you. But since you didn't leave any contact information, I will have to send it to your aunt and hope for the best. I'm writing to inform you that your mother passed away last week. We just had her funeral reception. The house has been filled with people all day. Friends, family, colleagues, and church members. It's now 11 p.m. and I'm sitting alone at the kitchen table, surrounded by dozens of trays of food, flowers, and sympathy cards. Your cousin Adi brought in a beautiful photo album full of our holiday pictures in La color. You are there in all of them, but you weren't here today. We haven't heard from you in 4 years and can only hope you made it to Alaska or wherever you are and that you and your child are both safe. Your mother had been sick and depressed for years, and you can imagine why. The pain of being shunned by her own daughter, knowing she would never get to see her grandchild grow up. It spread through her body like cancer and consumed her completely. All this suffering simply because you ran away like a temperamental little girl instead of accepting her help when you got pregnant out of wedlock after dropping out of college and without a penny to your name. She only stepped up to help because she knew you weren't ready to raise a child properly. Marianne, a mother's duty doesn't end when her children leave home. Now that you're a mother yourself, I hope you will begin to understand that good parenting isn't about coddling children. It's about providing for them and shaping them into the people they're supposed to become, whether they like it or not. I won't trouble you again. You've made your intentions clear. I just thought you should know. Dad. What a letter.
What the hell? Marianne was pregnant in 1992, before she even got here.
Before us? Do we have a long-lost sibling out there somewhere?
It's possible, but she could have given it up or miscarried. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Do you think we could track down her father?
You mean the grandfather she never told us about? I don't think I want to.
You're not at all excited about having more family.
You saw the letter. I don't think we want any part of that.
Fine. Let's keep digging.
Holy moly.
This just lit up, so I think we're supposed to try this one next.
I wanna put
Do you
the
have
letter
any idea
here.
what the code might be?
No. So we should probably see if Marianne hid anything before we go trying to guess.
I can't turn the other? Unlucky, okay. But it's saying it's the red one. The red one is on the left side. Maybe it's not time yet. Alright.
What's this?
Some sort of map?
One day she took her tiara and ran away to the forest. What is this? Holy moly. But maybe it is related to the other riddle behind me. Salmonberry. Something with the berries, dad eating at the table, house, something like that. I don't think there is a story. I'm not gonna go through every story now. Let's see. We can try out. Oh, no, we did this. Oh, the camera. Alright, I'm gonna pick the
What's
berries.
that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
Some sort of clock?
I think we have to reach the middle somehow.
This is the princess's house.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't want to go to the castle, so I'm gonna pick the.
This looks like
this
a
one.
dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
But nothing is happening. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You need help?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas?
What's about the castle?
I'm trying to make sense of the castle in the bottom left corner.
Well, it's like we were saying. The Gold Lady lived in one, so it probably represents Marianne's childhood home.
Oh, maybe we need to start with the castle. Okay.
That's the Gold Lady's castle.
Then we're gonna find the...
What's
that's
that
the community.
plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers. Some
That's the
sort
club.
of clock.
The house.
This is the princess's house.
And now
This
here.
looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What's in there? Another letter?
Oh, God. And there was another letter with the E.
The princess's laws. Is this from the Book of Goblins?
Not that I know of.
Well, sure looks like it could be.
The princess lost. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. She had made it through the woods and to that house with nothing left but the clothes on her back and a single item from her old life, a splendid tiara. She lost almost everything in her desperate flight from the mad hunter. The trees tore the rucksack from her back and shredded her dress and left a pattern of red welts on her skin. But through it all, she clutched the tiara close to her chest, fearing any misstep could cause it to fall from her arms and break. The tiara had its own spot in the big wooden house, a pillow near the window where sun would catch on its surface to shine and wink. The princess could stare for hours at the tiara, marveling in its beauty and running her thumb down its curves. Every morning she would wake and she would tend to it, polishing its every surface to be sure it shone as brightly as it possibly could. Then she would plug it up, place it upon her hat, and walk the woods, feeling somehow more complete. Because what, after all, was the princess without a crown? Every night she would place it upon its pillow, give it a quick kiss, and go to bed. On her way she would pause and glance back to be sure it was still there. She hated to be separated from it, but she knew it was safest on the pillow while she slept. So it is probably a story which is not in the book. One night the princess woke to a raging storm. The wind howled against the walls, rattling the windows and their panes. Fearing a gust might burst open a window and blow the tiara to the ground, she plucked it from its pillow and brought it to bed with her. All through the night she held the tiara close, and in the morning she woke to find herself still cradling it. The storm had passed and the princess relaxed. That day was the same as any other, though she perhaps gave the tiara an even more thorough cleaning, grateful as she was that nothing had gone wrong. That night she placed the tiara upon its pillow, gave it a quick kiss, and went to bed, pausing on her way to be sure it was still there. In the morning she woke up and sensed immediately that something was wrong. In the living room the tiara lay upon the ground, broken, dull, and faded. Nothing else in the room had changed. The pillow was exactly where she had left it. The window was closed. There had been no storm, no wind, no signs that anything at all could have gone amiss. Only the broken tiara lay upon the ground. She picked it up and held it in her arms with a gutturally cry, but though she tried to fix and to polish it, it was gone, beyond repair and with no shine left. The princess held the tiara through the day and through the next night, sitting in the same spot at the window where she used to polish it. When the sun rose, she looked outside and her gaze fixed on a sapling. She remembered how the sapling had survived the winter, clinging to life despite the frozen, unforgiving earth. Without a word, she went out and buried the tiara in the ground beneath the sapling, and as the final scoop of dirt fell, the tiara felt truly gone, and with it the final link to her old self. She could only go forward and find a new place for herself in this world, where she was no longer truly a princess in a tiara and a beautiful gown, but a wan woman alone in the deep ancient wood. And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. Well, that was the story.
And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. That was the story she read us that night.
God, it makes sense now.
Yeah, she got pregnant. She ran away to start a new life. And then she made her way to Delos Crossing, where she was finally happy.
It's very sad.
Died.
It's very, very sad. Yeah. They didn't have another sister or brother.
I can't even imagine how she must have felt. She left everything behind, built a whole new life for him. And then he was just gone.
I guess having us helps her move on. But when it looked like we were gonna be taken away, she snapped. She just couldn't lose any more children. It really wasn't anything we did.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this.
I don't either, but all I wanted was to understand what happened to her. And now I do.
Yeah. But we still haven't seen what's in that chest.
I actually think we found the letters, but
Okay, so how do we open it?
probably just putting the letters, because I could also see the... We've got the L, we've got the E, and we got... Where's the other? It's Leo. But we also have, like, other stuff we didn't do yet. Like, 4 other puzzles. Maybe we can get more letters out of it. What's in the corner?
That's the Pious Pelican spot.
Oh!
Crafty goblins go here.
This is stuff I found.
Moonhag's gotta be imprisoned in her lake.
Oh god, I didn't find everything.
The very old beaver definitely goes in her den.
Well, 2's missing. Damn it. So this
Back in
is
your
the
paw,
end.
Big Frog. There you go, Stalwart Moose.
Am I
We'll let the
missing
mangy
5?
muskrat have his rock back.
Damn it.
Gold Lady stays locked up in her castle.
5. I think 3 here on this side and 2 on the other side. Oh, that's okay. Actually, I thought it's even worse. Where should we start then? The crafty goblins' good deeds.
Why are these pictures from the Book of Goblins here?
I don't know. We'll get to those later. Let's finish this one, okay? Hey, I want to take a crack at this one before we try to figure out any others.
All right, all right.
All right, should be easy enough.
I mean, we got it now. I wonder if this is the name of the baby. Leo.
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited. What's this? There she finally found happiness.
Whoa.
Did it just get darker in here?
Oh god. What is this?
Ollie. She noticed. I was her son.
Dear Alyson and Ollie, you write stories to understand and be understood, but what good is a story without a first act? I'm sorry I kept mine from you for so long, all my love goblins.
Why does she have a photo of that tree locked in here?
Oh god. Oh my god.
Is that...
Leo Ronan.
Why didn't she tell us about him? Why didn't she tell us any of this?
I mean, it's fucking terrible. That's why. Allie, did we do the right thing opening this?
We did. It's better we know what happened, even if it's hard.
Yep.
And there's one more thing we need to see.
Are you sure?
Yes. Come on, let's go to the dock. It's time to finish this.
Oh god, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Hey,
Baby
now that we're done with
blanket.
the important stuff, maybe we can take a crack at these?
That's the baby blanket of Leo.
A baby blanket?
I did not expect this, to be honest. Okay. Alright. The very old beaver's repair list.
The very old beaver's repair list.
That's the story where the princess's house gets damaged by a storm and the animals help her fix it.
Yeah. What did they do to fix it again?
We need to find out. What was the story? Very old beaver's repair list. The beaver fixes the house. This one? I think this is this one, actually. We don't have more. So maybe we should read this one. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. One night, a particularly violent storm shook the house. It shook the shingles on the roof and the planks on the walls. It even shook the beams on which the house stood, blowing the whole thing near to the ground. The princess hid in a closet, fearing the house would come down on her as she slept. In the morning, the house was still standing, but it was badly damaged. The storm had blown shingles off the roof, planks off the walls, and even bent a post upon which the house stood. The first two things she could fix, but the last concerned her. What will I do? Despaired the wise princess, for though she knew many things, she did not know how to fix the big wooden house. Just then the old bear came to see if the princess had any trouble in the storm. When he found her nailing planks back into the place, he said, "Stop, princess, let me do that for you." "I'm happy to do it," said the princess, "but if you want to help me with the roof, you may." When the pair were done with the roof and the walls, they examined the bent support post. "I could throw my body against it," said the old bear. "I'm very large." He stretched up onto his hind legs, being sure the princess would appreciate how very large he was, then charged straight at the post. Threw his body against it with an impressive thud. The impact moved the post, but too far, and it ended up bent the other direction. The wise princess decided more precision was needed. She sought then out the very old beaver, who kept an excellent crafted dam. "Perhaps she can help." She went looking for the very old beaver and found the industrious animal hard at work, slapping down mud on the part of her dam that had been blown apart in the storm. Most of the structure was unharmed because the beaver was very good at building things. The princess knew she had come to the right place. "Beaver," she said, "my house was damaged in the storm. Would you help me fix it?" "I believe I could do that, yes," said the very old beaver, and she paused at the fixing her own dam to follow the princess. The very old beaver examined the big wooden house and nodded. "It will be an easy fix," she said. And she set about riding the post with loud slaps of her tail. When she was done, the wise princess stroked the beaver's head. "Thank you, beaver," she said. The wind blew the shingles off the roof and the planks off the walls, and even bent this post. "Now thank you. I still have a home." "Think nothing of it," said the very old beaver, who returned to work on her own den once again. That winter, the very old beaver grew ill. Very old, she was not able to fix her den, not to gather food. When the princess found out, she set about delivering meals to the beaver. She brought stew of corn, beans, and basket full of bark and twigs from the beaver's favorite aspen. One day, the wise princess noticed that the beaver's den had begun to fall apart. She set about fixing it, and though she was not as talented as the very old beaver, the fix kept the creature warm and dry. "Thank you," said the very old beaver. "Of course," said the princess. "You helped me when the storm blew my house near to the ground. Thanks to you, I still have a home, and I'm happy to do the same." The princess continued to nurse the old beaver until the day she came to the dam and the forest was still. No birds sang, no branches rustled, no small things skittered within the underbrush. Oh, said the princess, staring sadly at the dam, for she knew the old beaver had passed on. Goodbye, my friend. And that is how the very old beaver saved the big wooden house and how the wise princess repaid her kindness. So we have to fix the roof. Oh, damn.
She fixed the roof shingles.
Oh, what's happening with the camera? Okay.
She fixed the planks that were blown off the walls. She fixed the broken window. She slapped the post with her tail to right it. She repaired the water leak. She turned the power back on.
I think we fixed a bit too much, I guess. Let's do it again. I think it was...
I'm not sure. Maybe not. Actually, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Alright.
Wait.
I think it was the roof.
She fixed the planks that were blown off the walls. She slapped the post with her... Alright. Damn. That must have been rough on Eddie.
Yeah, he doesn't really like to talk about her.
Dear Marianne, you cover your ears every time I try to have this conversation with you, so I thought I'd have a better chance doing this in a letter. I know you don't like saying goodbye, so I'll keep my melancholy rambling short and sweet. I want to thank you with all of my heart for taking care of me for these past few months. I can't even imagine how exhausting it must have been for you to look after a sick old lady when you also have 2 small children at home. I know you want me to keep fighting this disease and hoping for recovery, but it's always been a great strength of mine to know when it's time to let go. And that time has come. I'd like to ask you for one last favor. Please take care of Eddie after I'm gone. My poor boy puts on a brave front ever since his father died, but I know he's in pain. I would be so much more at peace knowing he still has family. Maybe he could teach the kids how to fish. He loves spending time with them. Thank you for the warmth and the peace you brought to my life. Give the kids a kiss for me, will you? Carol. The old beaver is sadly human, huh? The crafty goblins' good deeds.
The crafty goblins' good deeds.
Of course. The goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, what did they do?
You know, I don't really remember.
Same. Good deeds. Let's see. Maybe we can find it here somewhere. I can't find it. It must be, but it must be here. I mean, what do we have? Help?
They helped fix the beaver dam.
Nah, okay.
Or
oh
not.
my god, we've got so many things. 1, 3, 4, 5. 5 different stuff? Crafty goblins. Good deeds. Where can I find the story? We had this right at the beginning. Is this even the story? It looks like that. No. Too many animals, to be honest. The 2 thieves. It looks like it's this story. Maybe we should read this one. Once upon a time in a deep ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins in a cave below a big wooden house. They lived with a wise princess who shared as much food with them as she was able, but it was never quite enough. This left the goblins hungry, very hungry, always hungry. One day, as they were out of foraging for food, the pious pelican landed on a rock and dumped a smorgasbord from her beak, which the goblins knew was magic and never emptied. It was a king crab in red, blue, gold, and scarlet, veiny blue shrimp, pink shelled scallops, oblong brown clams, purple shiny urchins, and even one pricky red sea cucumber. The food just kept coming. They watched as the pelican ate one clam and then took a nap. Do you think she would mind if we took just a little? Asked one goblin to the other. Her beak never empties. She won't possibly miss a couple of crabs, said the second, licking her lips. They agreed, and so they crept over, filched some crabs, and ran. I don't think this is the story, though. Goblin, said the pious pelican, I will share my food with you, but you must in return follow my example. Be as generous with others as I am with you. Huh. I have no idea. I think I'm missing something here. But some parts are in blue. I think, no, it's the story. It is the story. The goblins scarfed the crabs, but when they finished, they found that they were still hungry. She won't miss a handful of shrimp, said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the shrimp, but then when they finished, they found that they were still hungry. Maybe also a few scallops, said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the scallops, but when they were finished, they found that they were still hungry. So they went back for the clams and the urchins, and finally even the sea cucumber. Funny, they were not hungry, but there was also nothing left. Just then, the pelican woke up. What happened to my food? She asked. Unable to lie about it, the goblins confessed their crime. The pelican was dismayed, but she was a charitable-hearted bird, and she could tell the crafty goblins were growing little creatures. Goblin, said the pious pelican, I will share my food with you, but you must in return follow my example and be as generous with others as I am with you. Take that to heart, and I will consider it your debt paid. But we have nothing to give, said the goblins. You have your nimble hands and your crafty brains and your loving hearts, said the pelican. The crafty goblins realized how much they had to give, and for the rest of the day they looked for ways to help the other creatures of the forest. They found the stalwart moose struggling with an itchy, hard-to-reach spot on its back, and so they climbed up and gave it a good scratching. And next they helped the old bear, who could not get the honey out of the narrow beehive. They climbed up to the top of the tree with the hive and then dropped it, cracking it open. Finally, they found the princess crying over a loss. She would not speak about it, but they wrapped their little arms around her in a great big bug and stayed until she felt better. When they were done, they returned to the pious pelican. Did it feel good being as generous as I am? Asked the pelican. It did, said the goblins. I'm glad, said the pelican. We all have problems that we can't solve on our own, but if everyone goes about with generosity in their hearts, then there's always someone on hand to help. But we all must commit to do so, or there may be not one there to help you when you need it. This made sense to the goblins, and they thanked the pious pelican for her food and the lesson. Of course, by this time they were hungry again, and that remained an ongoing problem until the day the stalwart moose taught them to fish, but this is another story. And that is how the pious pelican forgave the crafty goblins and how she taught them charity. It is actually right on the right side. They found the stalwart moose. It is the moose, it's the bear, And the princess, actually, I'm pretty sure we found it now.
They broke open the beehive for the bear.
Exactly.
They hugged the princess when she was crying.
And the moose.
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back. Nailed it.
Nailed it. We got the next one.
Our lives would have been so different if their friendship hadn't gone to shit.
The Pelican Crossing is a specialty gift boutique located near the Yoshi Glacier, catering the Gastinos Channel tours as well as Delos Crossing locals. We specialize in an assortment of high-quality products from home accessories, handmade souvenirs to personalized apparel and locally made art. The Pelican Crossing will be the first store to act as a relay between the buzzing arts and craft scene and customers. In addition to a wide array of novelty crafted products, the consumer will enjoy friendly and knowledgeable customer service from Vecchi store co-owner Tessa Vecchi and up-and-coming artist Marianne Ronan. This business plan is prepared to obtain financing in the amount of $20,000 to purchase inventory and to help cover expenses in the first year of operations. In year one, the Pelican Crossing plans to break even, and in year two, we plan to generate a moderate profit. Working on the executive summary part of our business plan, what do you think, Tessa? So this is the story with Tessa. Very interesting. So two are left. The old bear's gifts for the princess.
The old bear's gifts for the princess. I'm totally blanking on that story. What did he give her again?
Why don't we open up the book and check?
We should do that. Gifts for the princess. Index. Gifts. Can we find something with gifts? Maybe the picture is gonna help us. Okay, lots of forest and the bear. Okay. Oh, it's here. I guess it's this story. Once upon a time in the ancient and deep forest, the old bear stood on the bank of the river, swiping at salmon on their way to the spawning grounds. Just as he'd got his pawn on his particularly fat one, he heard a woman shouting for help. He considered simply eating his salmon, but then she screamed again, and he lumbered over to investigate. After a short walk, he found the princess clinging to the top of the tree while a wolf snarled and snapped at the base of the tree. Old Bear would normally not get in the middle of such a situation. After all, as a fellow predator, he understood the wolf's need to hunt. But when he saw the princess, he was struck by her beauty, and he knew he had to help. With a great roar, the bear hicked into his hind legs, rising to his full height. The wolf snapped and snarled in his direction, but the bear roared again, and the wolf took off into the tree's tail between his legs. The old bear fell back down onto all fours and stared up to the princess. She regarded him fearfully. "You can't come down," he said. "How do I know you didn't save me just so you could eat me yourself?" asked the princess. "I suppose this is a fair question," admitted the old bear, "but I promise I won't eat you." The princess had no reason to trust the old bear except that he had kind eyes, so she slowly made her way down the tree. When she reached the ground, the bear only watched her, and so she supposed she was not going to be eaten today. "Thank you," she told the old bear. "Of course," he said. "Can I walk with you back to your home?" "Of course," said the princess. And so the princess and the old bear walked together through the forest back to a big wooden house. I'm assuming it has something to do with the berries first, right? It must be something with the berries. The berries, I guess so. After that day, the princess would occasionally find gifts from the bear, a fresh caught salmon, a handful of ripe berries, a newly bloomed bluebell. One spring, when a sudden thaw flooded the path out of the princess' home, the old bear was there, and she rode his back across the river. The old bear began to think that the princess should be his mate. After all, she had no mate, and she needed one, and he could keep her warm and provide her much more suitable den and catch fish for her and protect her from the wolves. She, in turn, would brush out his fur and pick berries without smooshing half of them, scratch that one part of his back he couldn't reach. With how she took care of the goblin, she would be an excellent mother for his cubs. One day, the old bear came with a ring of spruce and asked the princess to be his bride. I'm sorry, said the princess. You're a very good friend, and I appreciate all you've done for me, but I cannot marry you. You're a bear, I'm a princess, and it would never work. The old bear was crushed. Can we still be friends? He asked. We will always be friends, said the princess, but I will never marry you. The old bear and the princess carried on their friendship, and after 1 year, he tried again to ask to be his bride, but once again she refused him. This happened 1 year later and 1 year after that, and then finally the princess said, Old bear, you are my dear friend, and I appreciate all you have done for me, but I would sooner you have left me to the wolves than marry you, and that is how it will always be. I have my hands full with the 2 goblins and who live under my house, and they are all I need. That wounded the old bear deeply, but it was finally enough to stop his proposals. They remained friends, and he continued to give her gifts of fresh salmon, ripe berries, and newly bloomed bluebells. But the old bear never again asked the princess to be his bride, but as much as he might have wanted to. And that is how the princess befriended the old bear, and how she refused him. So, oh my god, there are so many things now. I don't know what is this?
Some roses, maybe?
No roses.
Actually, I'm not sure. A newly bloomed bluebell?
Bluebells. What's this?
Some honey?
Nope.
Actually, I'm not sure. Fresh
Salmon?
caught salmon?
Mm-hmm.
A handful of ripe berries?
Yay!
Nice.
Whew.
Man, he had it bad. Just couldn't let go.
Sorry for the note under the door, like your prison inmate. You okay? I stopped by and rang a couple of times this week, but you didn't answer. I could see the light in the hayloft, so I figured you were in bed. I didn't want to talk. I hope I didn't ruin everything. I know I probably came on kind of strong, but the thing is, I don't know how to talk to a woman like you. You are strong and kind, and you know so much. It's hard for me to know how to keep it up. I guess all that went to my head, but I want you to know I got the message, and I'm gonna get out of your hair now, and there doesn't need to be any bad feelings. We can pass on the street and say hello or not. It's okay. P.S. I noticed your car was leaking, so I put some sealant in there. You might need to take it to the shop, though. Let me know if you want me to come with you, because sometimes these guys try to rip you off. If not, no big deal, Sam. Yeah, that's the story of Sam, pretty much. What a kind person. The crafty goblin's loot.
The crafty goblin's loot.
That's from The Princess and the Two Thieves. I drew the original.
And I distinctly remember drawing that cake, which is arguably the best part of that illustration.
All right, Picasso. Then you probably remember what the goblins stole in that story, huh?
A cake. Seems like it's a cake. It was right at the beginning, right? It's here. Once upon a time, in an ancient Indian forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. The house was built from the strong wood of the forest, and it kept the princess warm and safe. The princess was not a native of the forest, but she never spoke about where she had come from, for it made her cry. She did not have many friends, but that was how she liked it. The forest was big and deep, and many paths led to her house, but not many visitors passed by. The princess was happy to be left alone in the big house in the deep forest. She knew that the forest would provide for her, but its generosity had to be respected. So she only took what she needed. And for a long time, life was just fine with the princess and the big wooden house. One winter, when snow blanked the car and ice bent the trees low, the wise princess realized that food was disappearing from her house. It was not much at first, only a few fruits and nuts and eggs vanishing during the night. Maybe it's the birds, she said, or the mice. Or for a time, the princess was okay with losing. For a time, the princess was okay with losing some food. But the winter was long, and little creatures needed to eat too. But then small items started to disappear as well: spoons, plates, forks, and knives and blankets. It was as if every time she was in one part of the house, something disappeared in another room. That can't be birds or mice, said the princess. I think I have a thief. So she went outside to look for traces in the snow and noises in the wind, but there was nothing to be found, nor to be heard. That's strange, said the princess. Maybe the thief is hiding inside my house. For many days she hunted She hunted, looking behind the curtains and under the bed, and the attic and the chimney, behind the poles and under the carpets, but she found nothing. And as she searched, food kept on disappearing night after night. "I will make a cake," frowned the princess. "A big cake with every egg and fruit and nut I still have, so that I only have one thing to keep my eye on." She spent the whole day making the cake and using everything she had left. The cake she made was so big she could hardly carry it. "If I manage to protect the cake, I'll be able to survive the long winter," she said. So she added a log to the oven, and she kept the big cake safe inside. But the next morning, the log had been opened, and the cake had disappeared. At first, the princess cried, because that cake was the last of her food until the snow melted. But then she noticed 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled floor, and she followed the track to a hidden hatch in the floorboards. This is how the princess realized that 2 tiny thieves were living under the wooden house right below her feet. Oh, we need the ingredients then, right? Fruits. There were fruits.
Maybe they took some of the princess's fruit?
Yeah, and there were also some nuts, I think, as far as I can remember. Where are the eggs, though? Oh, the eggs are here?
I'm pretty sure they stole some eggs.
They did not. I think it was, what was it, a fork or something? Spoons?
What if they took some spoons?
Oh my god, we're so good.
That's it.
The
I
picture?
always wondered where that drawing went. She said it was her favorite, and then one day it just disappeared.
No, you're the best mom in the world. The prettiest princess. That's it, right? I think we got everything now. I am missing 5 wooden figurines. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
You really want to go? You
Yes.
sure we've seen everything?
Yeah, I've seen everything now. I got everything. Let's go.
Either way, I'm ready for this to be over.
Me too.
I guess this is the last chapter now. With the horrible truth.
What are we waiting for? I want to know who was here that night. Let's try and remember who Marianne was arguing with.
Well, there's a memory, but I can't see it. Oh, it's here.
Almost.
What?
Tom? Tom Vecchi is our father?
Of course. It had to be him.
Tessa knew, didn't she?
Yeah, she must have.
What?
That's what she didn't want to tell us.
God, Marianne and Tom?
I know.
Ugh. What should we do now?
Yeah, call him out here and make him tell us what was going
Okay, I
on.
did not
And if he
expect
won't?
that.
We know his secret. He will. Tom? It's Alyson. We need to talk. We know it was you.
That was very unexpected.
Let me take the lead on this. I know him better. I thought I did, anyway.
Sure. Whatever. As long as we get answers.
I hope he's willing to talk, though.
Kids, listen.
You're our father.
Yes.
You knew how bad it got out here. How little we had. Why didn't you help Marianne?
You mean all the money she wanted? We didn't have anything to spare. Well, that winter was rough on everyone. You would have starved out here if not for all the free food we gave you.
Don't act like you had anything to do with that. That was all Tessa.
That's a cruel presumption, young man. Maybe it was Tessa's idea initially. But I supported it. And your mother was happy to live off our handouts.
Oh wow, okay. You tried to burn down a barn. You let Marianne drown. Oh god, I want to say everything. I want to say everything, to be honest.
You tried to burn down our barn and knocked Tyler unconscious.
I never meant to hurt anybody. You weren't supposed to be home.
Doesn't excuse the fact that you didn't even stop to help.
What do you want me to say? I panicked. I was terrified that this whole thing was gonna blow up in my face. I had to do something.
I can remember something. What should we do?
So what do we do now?
We tell him he's got to fix the mess he made, one way or another.
Hey,
About the barn?
you hearing me?
Yep, sorry. I'm trying really hard to keep myself from punching him in the face.
He's not even the least bit sorry for what he did. He could have seriously hurt you.
Yeah, he's just a fucking coward.
You tried to burn down our barn. You let Marianne drown. You had to make this right. You have to make this right. Okay. I'm gonna say this one.
You were here that night. You saw Marianne and Tyler. Why didn't you help?
I know it wasn't my best moment, but she threatened my life.
So you
wow,
just
okay.
decided to let her drown?
I didn't decide anything. Everything happened so fast, I panicked. And by the time I got to town, Brown was already on his way out. There was nothing else I could do.
Telling the truth. You have to make this right.
You failed us, Tom. You need to make it right.
I'll do whatever you want, as long as none of this gets out.
Excuse me?
What?
You want me to pay for my mistakes? Fine. But please, Tessa can't know. This'd kill her.
Tessa already knows, Tom.
No. That's impossible.
It never occurred to you the reason Tessa cut Marianne off was you?
But she never said anything. Oh, Lord.
You should try talking
Don't
to your
need to
wife.
say anything.
Maybe if you had, we wouldn't be in this situation. And maybe Marianne wouldn't be dead.
Oh, come on. You of all people should appreciate how troubled Marianne was. She was unhinged. Something like this would have happened sooner or later.
He abandoned her.
And you just couldn't risk being there when it happened. Even though it meant leaving her to raise kids out here all by herself. None of this would have happened if you'd manned the fuck up!
I didn't have a choice. I know it shouldn't have happened. But, well, your mother was a very pretty woman.
Ooh, oh my god, why
And
is it
she'd
starting
been
like that?
So many places and done so many things. The way I always thought I would have. I got caught up. Love made me a fool. Look, I made mistakes. But this will not go any further than the three of us.
Why? We know. Tessa knows. Marianne's dead. There's no point in hiding it anymore.
He's afraid it'll tank his campaign.
Yeah.
Am I
politician. I actually forgot about this one.
I've kept your secret all these years. I don't want to go spilling it, but I will if I have to.
What?
Yeah. Your little story about self-defense. I've never told anyone how Marianne really died.
What the hell is going on here?
That night, I came out here because I was worried about your mother.
Why did they do it? They made me do it. They made me do it. Why did they do it? It's his fault. It's his fault.
It's interesting to see this from his perspective now.
Mad Hunter.
Or at least how he's describing the stuff from his perspective. I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh my god. Holy shit, he could have helped.
No. No way. You're a fucking liar.
I saw what I saw.
Ugh! You're manipulating us just like you manipulated her.
Tyler!
You're not listening to this, are you?
Be smart about this, Alyson. Are you sure you want this to get out?
He's
You've got way more
manipulating.
here to lose than he does. His name will be all but cleared, but you'll be a killer. What will your uncle say?
We already told
And
our
Michael?
uncle.
Well, the whole town might turn on you.
Michael is my friend.
Don't touch her.
You know I'm right.
Just get out of here, Tom. Tyler and I need to talk alone.
Just please think twice before making any rash decisions. There are a whole lot of lives at stake here.
Leave us the fuck alone. And never come back. Allie, you okay? You didn't let that asshole get to you, did you? Did you?
What if he's right? I've been having all these nightmares about that night. And they were a
Yeah,
lot like
you
how Tom
used the
said.
knife, but
And now,
he could have saved
when I
her.
try to remember, that's
There's a
all I
huge
can see.
misunderstanding.
He's trying to mess with your head, and you're letting it
Yeah.
work.
No, it's more than that. Ever since we started digging, I haven't been able to shake this feeling like something's off.
Something's off because he put this in your head. Don't let him get away with it.
He might not be lying. We keep getting things mixed up. We remember totally different versions of the past.
Those are just details. This isn't that. She was going to kill me.
I'm not so sure anymore, Tyler.
Suddenly bird singing. I wanna recreate this memory.
She had a gun pointed at me. She chased me. She said she was going to kill me.
Please don't tell me I have to decide now.
She threatened Tom with those exact same words. With the same gun, on the same pier. The thing you said to Eddie the other day got thrown back at me. Don't you think it's possible that happened here too?
It's too long ago.
I guess it's possible. Fuck.
Yeah, now yeah. Nobody can probably remember.
I don't know. And we're never gonna know the truth, are we? Because the second you walk away from something...
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, you just have to decide what you believe.
No, I don't wanna...
Yeah. You need to start dealing, Allie. And that means coming to terms with whatever version of the past feels the most true to you. No more running. Whatever you choose, you gotta live with it, okay?
Oh, I've got goosebumps. I don't know what to do now. It's extremely hard.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Believe Tom's version. Marianne did not threaten Tyler.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I was...
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm going to kill you!
Oh my god, it's such a huge difference.
I'm going to kill you! I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm going to kill you! I'm going to kill you!
I wonder which side Tyler's gonna take. The whole game I was believing. The whole game I was just believing that Tyler got threatened. But all the other stuff which is going on, like, a loving mom would always do this.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Guys, why can't you just remember?
I'm going to kill you!
I think it's this one.
I'm going to kill you!
I think it's this one. I don't know. I'm taking this
I'm going
one.
to kill you! I'm going to kill you!
Maybe it's wrong. I don't
I'm
know.
going to kill you!
No, don't do this. Mom,
Alyson, this isn't what...
Tom was lying. Marianne couldn't face being separated from her kids again. And the only way to make sure that never happened was for all of us to go together. I know it in my heart. I saved you. I saved us.
I know. You did the right thing.
I really hope so. She's still struggling.
You want to go back inside?
Yeah.
Hey, peep what I just found downstairs. What do you think? Will it have aged well, or just gone bad?
This must be incredibly hard. Just being in their old room again.
Cheers, I guess.
I can't believe Tom thought we'd buy that story. And that I almost did.
Yeah, I still can't believe he and Marianne. What the hell did she see in him?
She was probably just really, really lonely after she lost Leo.
I could never get that lonely.
Listen, with everything that's been going on, it got me thinking. About our voice. Like, that maybe we should stop using it.
What?
I just don't trust it. And I think we'll be better off without it. This morning, I kept getting these horrible visions. Of you and Marianne and Eddie.
Visions? Like our memories?
Yeah, but different. It was all my worst thoughts brought to life. You were in my bedroom saying I abandoned you. Eddie called me a snake.
I'm sorry. I should have been there for you.
It's okay. I was the one who walked out. I can't let that happen again.
I don't think it will. Something's been pushing us to find answers. And now we have them. Maybe I'm wrong. And if it stays bad, we can stop. But I really want to keep what makes us, us.
The Mad Hunter was forced to remain below the lake. But she did not kill him, because even reduced to just one hand, he was too useful a servant.
That's a nice memory.
Lo, he plotted
do you
the day
think?
he would emerge.
Brothers and
To
sisters?
once again hunt the wise princess and earn back his left hand. Always. And
Remember
that
the
is
mom
story of how
who
the
was
crafty
reading them
goblins
to sleep.
rescued the wise princess from the mad hunter.
Yeah, at some point you just have to let it go. Can't do much more about it. Is this the end, maybe? Oh! No, 6 months later, okay. Whew. So we discovered the secret. Some heavy stuff over there. Oh! Different style.
One last look. I'm good to go. Hey, it's me.
Hey, me.
House is empty. I'm getting ready to head out. So, last
Oh,
chance.
running.
Is there anything you want me to do while I'm in town?
Listen, Ty, you're dropping off the keys with Tina, right?
Yep, gonna leave them at her office on my way to the ferry.
Well, that's it then.
How are you?
How are you?
Good, actually.
My god, the
Really
house is
good.
empty just.
You?
Same. You know, emptying the house really cleared my head out.
Thanks for doing that. The observatory really needed me this week, and after everything that happened, I just felt like I needed to keep some miles between me and Delos Crossing.
No worries. You still loving your therapist?
Gail, yes. I was actually just doing some letter writing she assigned me as homework. It really helped me get some perspective.
That sounds awesome.
How's Juno?
How's Juno?
Big and full of people, even without tourists. Michael's been writing up rules for the apartment. I need your support against his whole food policy.
Just refuse to sign anything until I get there. Okay?
Okay, but you better hurry. If he gets his way, we'll only have one small shelf for junk food.
What? Heresy. I'm gonna need like twice that just
I
for
wish
snack
it was
cakes
as
after my
easy
surgery
to fix
next month.
everything as
I know,
about.
right? This cannot stand.
Heard about Tom?
Did you see the article I sent you about Tom losing the election?
Ah, yes. I saw your message right before derby practice, so I didn't have time to read it. But I did cackle at the headline.
Did you picture Tom's face whenever you went in for a block?
No, but that is a great idea.
Anyways, think I should swing by the store for one final fuck off?
See you never, Vecchies.
Gotta go.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up now.
See you tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna take one last walk through the house and then head to the ferry.
Drive safe.
Pretty sure that's the only way possible in the old Alyson mobile.
Love you, Tyler.
Love you.
Damn, it's actually really weird just to walk around here. All those stuff
I should
going.
pick up Allison's stuff on my way out.
Found enclosed in this letter is severance check. I wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors. Okay. I don't think she's ever gonna come back to the store.
Last night's dinner wasn't that good, but better than going back to the Vecchies.
Yep. No, thank you. I want to take the pictures.
Man, seeing it empty is so weird, but at least it's the last time I'll ever have to.
Oh, it's one of those postcards. Can I already read the message itself, Michael? Dallas Crossing most wanted escapes. Oh yeah, the raccoon. That's a wonderful view.
Gonna miss this.
One more jog down memory lane, Mr. Ronan?
Hey, I'm having a private moment with me, myself, and I here.
Okay, carry on.
Let's go upstairs. Oh my god, the glasses are so dirty, the windows. Go, go, Tyler. Go, go. Weren't you running? It's a big house, though. It's really big.
Goodbye, room. Goodbye, room. Goodbye, man on the moon. For posterity.
Wait, this is the only room upstairs?
Certainly hope the new owners are Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It.
Look at the lamp. There's like a paper airplane. Funny. I think we got everything. The two goblins.
I should grab the rest of my stuff before I head out.
Rest of the stuff? This is the only stuff I got. I'm curious though, what's here? I guess we don't have access here anymore. Nope.
Such a good day.
This is that thing I was telling you about. See you there, D. Ah, I can remember. But what do I need to do?
Such a good day.
Then I guess we missed something.
Last night's dinner wasn't that good, but better than going back to the Vecchies.
Oh,
I should have probably run these by his place. Or just drop them off at Bernie's. I should grab the rest of my stuff before I head out.
What is the rest of your stuff then? Upstairs? Am I missing something? I'm blind. But there's nothing more. Where did this? Maybe outside? Maybe writing Michael? Oh, probably I should take my laptop, huh? Take it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I don't wanna I don't wanna go without my laptop actually. Leave the house now. Yep. That's it.
Well, this is goodbye for real, I guess. Hey, Aaron. It's Tyler Ronan. I thought I'd catch you on your break between sessions, but I guess you're going long with another rebel with too many causes. I know I haven't reached out since I left Fireweed, but I just wanted to say, well, you were right about grief, about it going in circles. This morning, I was out on the porch staring at the fog, and my mother, she just tumbled right out of me. But it was okay. It actually felt good to remember. Anyway, give me a call back if you get a chance. I'll see you around. And thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. These are our decisions. Tyler and Alyson. Alyson was grateful they completed Marianne's puzzle. Alyson felt that standing by the twins' memory was the right thing. The twins trusted their bond and kept their voice. Eddie was relieved that Alyson accepted responsibility in the murder. Sam felt understood by Alyson. Michael was happy to become good friends with Tyler. And that's it. I want to try to get the other ending as well. I am feeling a huge pit in my stomach, and I need to know if I just choose the right ending. I just need to know. See you there.
That night, I came out here because I was worried about your mother.
Why do they do it? They made me do it. They made me do it. Why did they show it? It's his fault. It's his fault.
Hunter. I'm not gonna hurt you.
And this time, I'm gonna believe the story.
No.
But I think we need to go to the pier first. Yep. And then choose the right side as far as I can remember.
Something's off because he put this in your head.
Believe Tom's version, Marianne did not threaten Tyler. I'm not gonna hurt you.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh, please. No, don't do this.
Alyson, this isn't what...
She was going to kill herself. Just herself.
This is even worse. I did not expect that.
You interrupted her and
Just a
we got
coincidence.
confused.
Bad timing.
Are you sure?
Yes. That attic. Tyler, that was meant for us. It was her way of explaining what she was going through. I made a horrible mistake.
Hey, it's okay. I'm here.
Let's see what the other part is about. I'm assuming they're gonna speak about different things now. Let's see.
Hey, peep what I just found downstairs. What do you think? Will it have aged well, or just gone bad? Where are you at right now?
I just keep hearing her say she wasn't going to hurt you. Over and over.
We were kids. We freaked out. You weren't equipped to deal with that shit.
She was just talking to you. And I killed her.
Stop.
I don't want to use our voice again. Ever.
What? Seriously?
I don't know. But I want to stop feeling like this. And I think we'll be better off without it. This morning, I kept getting these horrible visions. Of you and Marianne and Eddie.
Visions.
Overall,
Like
she
our
seems
memories?
so
Yeah,
down. The other version
different.
was
It was all my worst thoughts brought to life.
a bit more
You
positive.
were in my bedroom saying I abandoned you. Eddie called me a snake.
I'm sorry. I should have been there for you.
It's okay. I was the one who walked out. I can't let that happen again.
I don't think it will. Something's been pushing us to find answers. And now we have them. Maybe I'm wrong. And if it stays bad, we can stop.
But she feels extremely guilty.
I really want to keep what makes us, us.
The Mad Hunter was forced to remain below the lake with the Moon Hag, but she did not kill him, because even reduced to just one hand, he was too useful a servant. Lo, he plotted
What do
the
you
day
think?
he would emerge,
Brothers and
to
sisters?
once again hunt the wise princess and earn back his left hand.
Always.
And
Music
that
is
the
getting
story
more
of
positive
how the
here.
crafty goblins rescued the wise princess from the Mad Hunter.
So, which version do you prefer more? Which version do you like more? All right. So 6 months later, and I'm asking myself, what are we doing here? Wait, is she moving in or out? Seems like she's moving in. There are some plants. I think she's living here now. I did not expect that. Wonder if she's thinking, like, is this the right decision, to be honest? That it's looking different and very, very nice. But I would never do this. Too many memories. That's the old room of her mom. So you're telling me that's her bedroom? Yeah, I would never do this. Fix the sink, call Tyler. Buy flour, milk, fruit. She's actually living here.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, everything okay?
Oh, everything's fine. I just came back from shopping and thought I'd call.
Well, it's good to hear your voice. What's going on?
Wonder what Tyler is thinking. I need some
I
inspiration.
could use a good kick in the pants. I've been trying to sit down and write a new story, but I keep putting it off.
It's looking comfy though.
Book of Goblins?
Yeah, I guess a sort of sequel.
Maybe wants
That's
to
awesome.
write more of the
I'd love
Book
to
of the
find out what
Goblins.
happens to those two.
Thanks. That's what I needed to hear.
How's your life?
What's new on Kodiak Island?
What he's
Nothing.
doing?
Just me, 2,000 bears, and the occasional tourist to fish out of the pit toilets.
So you're enjoying your seclusion?
It's exactly what I need right
I
now.
don't know if I like this. Heard about Tom?
Did you get my text about Tom losing the election?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Can't say I'm
Beckies.
surprised, or sorry, or anything. Fuck that guy.
I always floor it when I pass the store, just so I don't somehow
didn't
make
meant to
eye
be right.
contact with him or Tessa.
It's
Alyson,
looking really nice in the
going over
background.
the
It's
speed limit?
looking definitely also
What can
different.
I say? You're rubbing off on me.
But still, it's the same house. I could never do this. I gotta go.
All right, time for me to get going.
Okay, but real quick, everything good with the house?
Yeah, I'm starting to make it mine. To tame it, if you will.
You think you made the right call
To
staying?
tame it.
Yeah, I think so.
He's also having doubts.
Even after everything. This feels like where I need to be right now.
Maybe that's a good thing to write about then.
You know what? That's not a bad idea, actually.
Okay, but
To get
you
this
better give me
ending,
credit if you
basically,
do.
you have
Will
to
do.
fail every single
Love
choice
you.
in chapter
Love
3.
you too, sis.
So it took a long time.
Donate my shit for all I care.
It's the same letter, I think. Tessa Vecchi. Best time for you to come. Okay. No, thank you. And the other letter is about Hey Ellie. Knocked a few times, but you weren't home. Took a look at the deck, and it won't need much work. Just a good scrub and oiling. I know you told me you wanted to take care of it. All the stuff you need should be in the barn. You know where to find me if you do want me to fix anything up for you. I'm so pretty good at fixing things. They only blow up some of the time. Haha, that was a joke, except that one time. Sam. I knew it was a letter by Sam. P.S. Hello to your brother. And P.S. again. I think I hit your mailbox with my truck. An ass called me to fix that too. Oh, Sam.
Hey, Alyson.
What's here?
Guess you're
Oh, it's
not answering
Eddie.
your landline either. Just wanted to check in and see if we're still on for dinner tomorrow. I'm making my special Eddie-licious fish tacos. Oh, sorry, gotta run. Mayor Scrow just walked in my office. Love you, little moose.
Little Moose. Are those more messages?
Hey, princess. Well, I'm doing like you
Is he drunk
asked.
again?
Calling ahead to let you know I'm on my way out to replace that door. So, heads up. See you soon.
This I don't like this ending at all.
You got this, sis.
Let's hope.
Light. Oh my gosh, she's looking like she's gonna drink it. Oh, she's probably smell it. Write the final chapter.
A friend? What is that? The princess frowned, for she realized that the two tiny thieves were as lonely as she was. A friend is someone you love and care for. Someone you would never hurt.
She really wants to write the last chapter.
Yeah, right.
I think she wants to leave everything behind, but this is not the right way. She would have gotten the money for the house and she could just start a new life, just leave everything behind. I know you can't do this with everything, but it's a good start, I think. I know what she's gonna write. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest.
The chapters always started like
A
that.
solitary goblin in a big wooden house. That goblin had not always been so solitary. She had a twin. And when they were younger, they were inseparable.
Too many more memories, to be honest.
Together, they rescued princesses and outsmarted ice trolls.
Treasure room.
And even trapped a mad hunter.
You're the mad hunter.
But as she grew older, the goblin sister decided that she'd had enough of adventures. So while her brother went out to explore the world, she stayed behind.
Like, is this how you can deal with the past?
Wooden house.
It's not just the past, it is just the horrible past.
For it is not on
and though
all
it's
of
looking
us
so
to
beautiful
adventure.
Here.
Some must stay behind to tell the story and to hold shelter for those who may come back.
She's not looking
those
so happy here. The other ending, she was like doing something else. Thank you so much for watching.